Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. Modifying my microphone. Looks pretty good. Not too hot, not too hot. How's everybody doing? Hey, all you Splinterheads, welcome back for another edition of the Saturday Morning Stand-Up, where we talk about Splinterlands for about an hour. What's been going on in Splinterlands, what you've been up to, what I've been up to. If you're a new player and you have some questions, you can throw them into chat, and I'm sure that somebody within the chat or myself will have an answer for you. One of the great things about Splinterlands is the community. Frankly, I've been around a lot of games, and there's some games that have a very... I guess the best word is they have a bad attitude, or they don't help you out, or they just call you out in Reddit and say you're a loser or you're a poor player or get better or stuff like that. In Splinterlands, it's been, in my how I found it, the exact opposite. You can jump into chat as a new player and get all kinds of answers to your questions. And probably when you ask a question as a new player, you probably get a lot more information than you were expecting. Because there's a lot of us that's been in the standard Splinterlands chat for many years. And I've been doing some videos lately from a new player's perspective, because we've got some new players that have come on board lately and have signed up using my ambassador code. And I've been doing my best to go ahead and answer questions and things. And a lot of times, especially over the last couple of weeks, I found that they made good topics for videos. So I went ahead and, instead of just answering it for one person, made a video, threw it up on my channel, and hopefully it can help out a lot of other people, right? So anyway, good morning here in the east of the United States. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in this fine world. We will be giving away a legendary pack today. Okay, so stick around for the show and check that out. I've got a cool, fun new way to go ahead and give that away as well. So stick around for that. Let's see who's in the house today. Lady Sharon is here. Welcome. Lady Sharon's one of the members that just signed up and started playing this past week. So we've been chit-chatting every once in a while, and I've been doing a couple of videos on the questions she had as a new player in Splinterlands. So they seem to be getting a good reception, and I thought it was just general good information for new players. So Crypto Beaver's here. Welcome. Good morning. Crypto Beaver says, got my level 8 Yaba's pickle. Thinking about leveling it to max. 180 pickles to go. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, because guess what I did? Let's go to my card collection. No. I was looking at those earlier. Let's go Conclave promo, and look at this. Level 8 gold foil, boys and girls. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I got it to level 8 because at level 8, it picked up slow, right? As far as the gold foil goes. And whenever you're leveling up a card, first of all, you have to consider just kind of taking a little bit step back for new players in the house. You have to consider how high of a level of a card your actual archons can cast. And I talked about that kind of in this last video I dropped yesterday. But this one takes slow, and I'm not up to the point where I can cast it that high with my gold foil archons from this newest set. As you know, I've been talking about it. One of my goals is to be able to level up my gold foil set to be able to play in the guild brawls gold foils, which is one of the harder ones in a guild to fill. So I know it's lower level. I start out at bronze, and our guild has recently leveled up to the top level in the brawl, so I no longer have a bronze gold foil I can go for. I have to hack it out in the silver, which I don't have really high enough cards at this point. I did I did half and half last week, right? So either way, this pickle, I went and I got the level 8 because at level 8 it picks up slow. I would really like that heal, but we're talking about a bunch more cards, and in this case we're talking about 18 more gold foils. And last I saw, they were about, yeah, oh, the price went up since yesterday, so a little bit. So they're about $1.90 a piece. So I'm just considering making that same jump. I haven't made it yet, but I did buy my gold foil pickle this week. Part of those I had from my draw, where I went ahead and bought I bought like 148 or something or other like that I could off of the normal draw, and I got like 10 gold foils, and then I used those and bought some more to level it up. So either way, I'm thinking about the same thing, and I think it's a funny card. So let's see what else everybody else is saying. Let's see here. OFG is here. Welcome. Hola. Yes, I do know what that means in Spanish. I know just enough Spanish to get myself into trouble. Funny story. I was in the Navy. We were going on a trip, a cruise around South America. And there's Spanish is the primary language in South America, except for Brazil, who speaks mostly Portuguese. But anyway, a bunch of English-speaking guys, and we're going down towards South America. And there was one of the guys on the crew that was a chief, and he was from Puerto Rico, and he was a fluent Spanish speaker. And so he was taking some time out to teach some people some basic stuff in Spanish, how to get around, and hey, where's the bathroom? Hey, order some food and everything. And whenever I got my time to see him, I just ask, how do you order 2 beers? Or 2 big beers. And I remember that to this day. Dos grande cerveza, por favor. So that served me well. So we didn't get to see land too much, but I did see a bunch of countries in South America. Brief sideline, nothing to do with Splinterlands, but just a personal thing. Gathering the Magic is here. Says, good morning. Starting to open daily chests instead of draws on my accounts. Got very lucky yesterday and also suggested a new Glint store idea to the team. Blaze said he and Dave will check it out. Yeah, I saw those 2 videos that you had posted. If anybody is interested, go check them out on Gathering's channel. Yeah, he had some ideas as far as some new chests. My takeaway there is I generally like the idea. It addresses several different things. I don't think that, I think the research costs you had proposed would be very high for keys on chests. Because that would limit it down to the top players in the game providing those keys, and then the price on the keys would be very high. But obviously it was just an idea phase, and it was just probably, I'm one of those people that miss the older chests, but I'm also one of those players that don't buy a whole lot of chests in the shop, because the chests I've gotten from the shop just yield the same stuff those old chests have yielded, which was like a bunch of potions and stuff. They're fine. I think if you get into a situation during the season where you need some energy, but you could probably also use some cards, grab a few chests, because more than likely you're going to get some potions and energy, and maybe some merits, and maybe a couple cards out of them. But I generally just buy the rarity draws. So and I had another player ask me on another video yesterday about these titles. They were interested in getting a title. One of the items I had talked about was how to get an extra bonus on when you win. Let's go back. I was talking about, so this is the last win, right? That I went through, and let's go ahead and skip the battle. But whenever you get to the winner screen and you can go to info, it tells you how you can get more bonuses. Just to touch on this lightly, because we have some new players in the crowd here. Wetting my whistle a little bit. So just for those new players, and just to kind of hit on this a little bit, the chief way to increase how much SPS you can earn in the game off of won battles is to increase the amount of SPS you have staked in the game. That's the primary way, okay? that generally new players start playing, they start earning a little bit of SPS, stake that SPS, your staked SPS goes up, and at certain increments, your multiplier for what you win goes up. That's the basic. Okay, so that's the best thing. That's the best way you can earn more SPS off the game. Okay, now the next things have to do with your actual hand and playing the game. Okay, so as you establish a win streak, your plus percentage goes up. The more black foil cards or gold foil cards you have used in your hand, they have a modifier as well. You can see in this particular hand, I had used one gold foil, so it was plus 10%. Okay, the more alpha or alpha promo cards, beta cards that you use, it increases a percentage of what you actually win off of each hand. Okay, now being in a guild gives you a percentage as well, a bonus, another bonus to being in a guild when you're just playing your average everyday match, you know. And then titles. Okay, so there's a number of different ways you can get titles, but generally speaking, I brought this up because this other person asked the question. One of the ways you could get a title for a bonus is buying them in the glint shop, which means this is another overall big bonus you could put on your account to give you an extra little percentage on every win you had in the game, you know. So you've got 24 energy in a day. Most people probably win somewhere around 50% of their matches. That's 12 matches a day, every day that you play, that you can get that extra little percentage. But these have been sold out for a number of months and not available. Okay, so they've talked about adding more things to the glint shop, or what do they call it, Gwen's glint shop. I like the whole idea, but they really have not updated this glint shop for quite a while. The last thing they put in was the gold foil rarity draws. So, okay, so that was another question, kind of went off track there. Let's jump back into chat. And yeah, check out Gatherings videos if you haven't. I like the idea. As far as chess, I'm the exact opposite from you. Yeah, I saw you had gotten lucky with some legendaries. I've never pulled... I don't even think I've ever pulled an epic out of a chest, to tell you the truth, you know. So everything's usually common. They're fun once in a while. Let's be frank. They're like they're just random. It's like gambling packs in other games, right? Hey, Matt sent some cards. Let's see what Matt sent over. Wow, I think this is the first time I've been tagged by Matt. Look at this. You have a Matt sent me a gold pickle. Nice. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it. Okay, let's keep on with chat. Well, that's one less gold pickle I need. Let's see here. OFG Play says, yeah, your legendary pulls were nice at Gathering. Lady Sharon says, hello, I have questions. Well, there's one thing Lady Sharon has, and that is a lot of questions. But that's good. That's good. That means you're learning, taking different... taking advantage of the situation and being able to learn a new game. There's a lot of things that we as players for a number of years have played and take for granted and understand. Whereas with my videos, I'm trying to slow down and step back and look at it from you, the new player's point of view, and answer a few questions. Okay, Supreme Victory Studios is in the house. Good morning. Thanks for dropping by. M.A.1T. I always look at your name and make sure I'm pronouncing it correctly, because I'm not exactly... it almost sounds like an African name. Let me know if I'm correct. Hot from doing yard work. Good time to chill a bit. Yeah, it was very hot here on the northeastern part of the United States. It cooled down yesterday, but the previous 2 or 3 days was like 100 plus, you know. So, everybody always says it, but I'll tell you from experience, you don't want to get you don't want to get super dehydrated. You know, I did that, believe it or not, on the way back from my what do they call that? Honeymoon, vacation after your wedding. And a number of years ago, been married over 30 years now, but we were driving back from Canada and I got super dehydrated and I was so sick. They had to pump my veins full of whatever, salt, saline solution or whatever. It was so bad. I never want to get in that situation. So make sure that if you're out in the hot, put a wet rag around your neck and drink your water. Okay, so back into chat. Lady Sharon says, are Gladiator cards from Gladius cases soulbound? Yes, they are. Number 2, I noticed that some of my soulbound cards are for sale in the store. If I were to buy one and merge it with my soulbound cards, what would be the result? They would be soulbound. So people can unlock certain cards. You can pay to unlock, like I had mentioned. I didn't want to go too in deep because it kind of gets more... I'm trying not to confuse people, right? So at certain points, some of these soulbound cards can be unlocked, and then you just have to pay a certain fee. After that, then they're open. Then you could take them and sell them on the market if you want. Now, you as a new player, if you want to level up one of your soulbound cards, you can buy that off the market, but once you combine it with your soulbound card, it becomes once again soulbound. But it levels up your card and you get what you wanted out of it. So you can go into let's just take a trip down. Let's do this. Let's do Rebellion reward. Okay. So, and let's go. And once again, I had mentioned that the way you can tell is the chain on the side here. But if you go into here and say, for instance, see this guy is level 9 of 10, right? And if I wanted to, let's see, click here and see this little icon up here, it says release soulbound cards. If I wanted to unlock that card, I would click on that. And currently, let's see here, I would have to pay 32,500 DEC or like 32.5 bucks to unlock that. But keep in mind, it's almost a maxed out card. It's a level 9, so I've been working on this for quite a time. So any of those cards you can unlock. There's a certain fee to it. Also, there's a certain point at which you can no longer unlock that, right? So they cut it off. It's just that they devised this system where you can unlock your soulbound cards for a certain amount of time, then it cuts off. And then whatever it is, you know. So it came from the past. We can look back, you know, like I said, there's a number of lessons that the team have learned over the years. And in this game, you used to win cards that were not soulbound. And what that led to was massive bot farmed these cards through them. I'm not talking about a person with 5 accounts. I'm talking about a person that devised a scheme to put thousands of bots online at any one time just to play this game and farm those cards. And then those cards were dumped on the market, and you can actually see them on the market now, still for a penny or two, you know. And the prices have gone up because the team have put a number of things into place to kind of try to soak up all those extra cards like land and things like that. But it was a lesson they learned, and we all learned as players, that anytime you put a money-making mechanism into place in a game like this, it's going to be abused. So it's not just your standard guy or woman with 2 or 3 accounts. It's persons with hundreds and thousands of accounts farming those cards. So I know I went off on a tangent, just a little bit of a backstory, but it's all about, that's why there's an unlock fee. And generally speaking, what you buy them for on the market when somebody's unlocked them is, you know, it's a little bit more than what it took them to unlock the card, you know. Sometimes a little bit more, depending upon, you know, the legendaries and such are probably obviously worth a lot more. So anyway, Adi78 is here. Hello, welcome. Hey, Wibble's here with the Wii. Wow, Lady Sharon with a third question. How long do delegated cards last? Is there a time limit, or is it only until the person decides to undelegate them? It's when the person decides to undelegate them. It's like loaning somebody something. You know, I can loan you cards. I can actually loan you SPS to stake or staked SPS. And it all comes from how this game is devised. You know, all these cards are NFTs, okay? So, and I know that's a kind of a touchy subject outside of Web3, right? But what it really means is that each of these cards is an actual item on the blockchain, and they can be tracked and traced, and people, you can look on the blockchain and see the activity and see what's being done. And that's what allows you to buy that card or sell that card or loan that card to somebody for a certain amount of time. All this is possible, rather not capable, because everything is a different item on the blockchain and can be tracked. Okay, so yeah, that's a direct answer to you. Wibble says, when beaver? I don't know. I imagine that you've been creating such a hubbub for quite a while about a beaver that it shouldn't be too long before we see a beaver, hopefully. A beaver would be a good land card. They were talking about making special cards for land that could be staked on land, and you get some kind of bonuses on land. I like the idea because obviously I'm a land head. In fact, I have to go in and claim my land later on. I'm at 5 days, so hey, looks like I'm a little bit understaked here. I'll address that whenever I go in to claim, but I'm doing pretty good. I have not been making potions lately. I've just been claiming my aura, and I do need to sell some. I do need to sell some grain and make a little bit of SPS. But okay, let's jump back into chat. OFG Play says Lady Sharon has got a couple of great beginner questions. Yeah, I agree. In fact, I put a few of them earlier this week on videos. MA1T says gladiators are soulbound. Newer reward cards are also soulbound, but some can be unlocked at a fee, then sold. They will. Okay, so exactly what I said. Hey, Paul Taylor's in the house. Welcome, Paul. Lucky Dwarf is here. Good evening. Lucky Dwarf, thanks for dropping by. Lady Sharon says, now I have a... Wow, she has enough questions for everybody, right? Lady Sharon says, now I have a question because of what Gathering the Magic posted, and that's how do you get daily chests? Well, you win matches, you earn glint, you go into the shop, and you buy chests. So each minor chest costs 200 glint, each major chest costs 1,000, and each ultimate chest costs 4,500. And as they go up, you get better stuff, basically. If you hover over this little eye, this informational icon here, it will tell you basically what your odds are and what you could possibly get. So in this minor chest, it contains a soulbound reward card, potion, merits, energy, or a jackpot prize. So you have a 33% chance to get a reward card, and on this level chest, you only get one card per draw. Okay. In the higher end chest, you can get multiples. You can get a percentage chance of getting potions is 31.999. 30% chance of getting merits. A 5% chance of getting energy, and a 1/100% chance of getting jackpot, which could be some really cool prize, like one of the top level cards, or as far as I know, you can still get packs. I don't know. But either way, this is how you get your loot chests. Play the game, earn glint, buy chests. Myself, I still prefer to buy the common draws, where you can work on your cards as time goes along. But, you know, hey, it's fun to open a chest once in a while. So, and while we are on that topic, let me go ahead. I need to open my weekly pack. So let's go over to, I put some credits in. So let's go over to No, it's actually under shop card packs. They've redone this whole UI, so I think it looks a lot better these days. Let's go into Conclave Arcana, and I am buying alchemy packs. And let's go into credits, and let's buy one. My weekly alchemy pack. And I've got a few things to say here, just once again for newer players, and then we'll open the pack. Let's view in the mana well. Now, one thing I want to talk about is potions. Okay, this is kind of glossed over, but it's worth discussing. The two common potions you can get. Let's go into items in item inventory. Did I pass them up? Okay, so you can get alchemy potions, you can get legendary potions. Okay. And the legendary potion, you'll get these a lot, like in chests and stuff like that. And as you play over the years, you accumulate them. You do get chests whenever you go up a level in your play, like from bronze 3 to bronze 2 to bronze 1. You get a certain amount of chests each time. Now, if you backtrack and then remake that level, you don't get them again. You only get them the first time. Okay, so the legendary potion increases your percentage chance when you open a pack or a card draw. It increases your chance of getting a legendary card, and now at this point I believe it also increases your chance of getting an epic card as well. Now the alchemy potion increases your chance of getting a gold foil card. Okay, now the midnight potion is something relatively new that can be made by players who are working their land, or you can just buy them off the market. They're a couple cents a piece. They increase your chance of getting the newer black foil cards, and obviously that only applies to the new Conclave Arcana set packs. Okay, you do need one potion for each card in the pack. So each pack you open has 5 cards, so you're going to need 5 of each potion. So with this pack, I'm going to use up 5 alchemy potions, 5 legendary potions, and 5 midnight potions. But I just wanted to explain what I was doing there. So, cross your fingers for me. Let's go ahead and open my weekly alchemy pack. And then we'll jump back into chat. Had a pretty good opening last week. Oh, baby, look there, legendary. And then the first one's going to be a gold foil, my standard rare. Okay, so this is a way above average pack. Let's go. Okay. Here's the rare, and the gold foil is a common, Ashen Cindergrim. Okay, so what's the legendary? Not only is it legendary, it's a legendary gold foil, baby. Man, that is a good draw. That's the best draw I've had in ages. Let's go back to the items. Sorry, I'm pretty excited because I was looking at, obviously we're talking about, I was looking at trying to increase my gold foil Conclave Arcana set. But the thing about the gold foils are, once you get up to legendary, they are expensive. And I have 2 of them now, so maybe I'll sell one off and buy one of the other legendaries I don't have. But you can see that, look at this. This is an $89 to $90 card. Okay, so that's a really good draw right there. Whew. Well, I guess that makes up for having a couple weeks in a row of getting very little. Oh, okay. So I might put that on the market. I don't know. Have to decide. Okay, let's go back to play. Okay, let's jump back into chat and see what everybody's doing. Wibble says, Mr. Dragon, have you heard the pickle says "we" when it kills stuff sometimes? I heard somebody says they put a sound effect in, but I have not heard that sound effect yet. I'll have to check it out. Karen's here. Welcome. Thanks for dropping by. The hoss is in the house. Nice. Awesome pull. Yeah, that was a great pull. Boom. DeHaas says low price is $90. Lady Sharon says, how do you know before flipping? Whenever you hover over the card, you can see the glow around it. Let's see here. How do you do that thing where you... Okay, history. Recent rewards. How do you do that thing where you see the packs, open the packs again? I don't know. Either way, whenever you hover over the cards, there's a glow around it. And that glow for that legendary is yellow. And then the glow for rare is blue. Epic is purple. And so most people kind of like scan over their cards before they flip them over just to see. Let's see here. Snowballs is here. Welcome. Classical corners in the house. Hover mouse over card. Yep. Paul Taylor says, at Lady Sharon, how much SPS do you have staked? What's your account name? Well, I don't know how much she has staked, but her account name is actually Lady Sharon. So, M.A. Wante says, go back to open screen and go to history. Open screen and... Oh, okay. Here's history. I don't use that a lot. Okay, so... Okay, so here's my example. See, when I'm hovering over this card, I have the yellow yellow around it. That means that was a legendary, and then this one was the rare. So, and the other ones didn't have. I think the first on this particular kind of pack, the first one is always going to be gold foil. And I don't think that if it's another rarity, they actually have the border. I'm not sure. It's been a while since I got something gold foil that was not a common. So that's why I was really surprised by that. But yeah, just had to see that again. Yeah. So yeah, you can go into shop and go into card packs and you can buy, I went over this in a video, but you can buy the starter, the standard, the alchemy, or the legendary. And we'll be giving away a legendary pack here in a few minutes now. So stick around. Let's see here. So once again, let's see here. Just trying to catch up. And I wanted to make sure that I noted that this legendary pack giveaway is courtesy of Trash Panda, a great supporter of the channel and also of Splinterlands in general. He's a member of one of the guilds I'm in. And my brother keeps texting me, even though he knows I have a live stream right now, because he never watches. Let's see here. Lady Sharon says, I'm not trying to spam questions. I had another one, but forgot what the draw was. Forgot from the draw. Anyway, end of season. I won't have enough for epic card, I'm sure. Maybe next season. How long are seasons? Generally 2 weeks. 14 to 16 days, like Karen said. Yeah, they go for 2 weeks. You get 24 energy a day. If you run out of energy from playing, you can go in and spend your glint on energy if you want to play some more hands, or use them to buy cards or whatever, you know. Lady Sharon says, so whatever the spell book gives you, I haven't figured out staking yet. I started playing last weekend. Yeah, they give you some, what was it, 500 SPS, I think. Let's go. Had to remember the name of my new account that I had created. Okay, so this is the new account that I just recently bought the spell book for. Let's go under SPS. No, that's credits. Okay, so I have 100. They delegate you 100 SPS. You can click on the little SPS up at the top, and you can see that you have an incoming amount of SPS. So when you buy the spell book, you have 100 SPS coming in for 30 days. Basically, they're loaning it to you. Just to basically give you the idea that, hey, you need to increase the amount of SPS you have, and as you gradually go along, what you make off the game increases as well. So. And they give you the 5 card packs to open too. So, Classical Corner welcomes Lady Sharon, says welcome to the game. Yeah, Lady Sharon says that is her name actually, Lady Sharon. Yeah, so if you have some extra cards, loan them out to Lady Sharon, help her get up and running. I'm sure she'll appreciate it. Gathering says timer in the upper left side of the main page shows how much time is left. Yes. So let's log out of this account again. I actually have 4 accounts now, but only 2 of them are actively played. I had one that I used to use to buy and sell just specifically on the market. Okay, so we're talking about this. Okay, yeah, this season ending timer up here to the left is what he's talking about. So there's just a little bit less than 2 days left in the season. And it kind of slightly changes from season to season depending upon the month. And like I said, it's usually around 2 weeks, maybe a day or two more than 2 weeks most times. Okay. Matt Rosen's in the house, otherwise known as Jabba Matt. Says, Lady Sharon, I sent you some CA packs. Nice. Nice. Thanks for dropping in on the live stream, Matt, and thanks for the golden pickle. Lady Sharon says, I want in on the draw this week. Definitely. We'll go ahead and do that here in a few minutes. Bond Galaman is here. Welcome. Bond's got a YouTube channel where she covers Splinterlands as well as some other things. Time is fast. Yep. Snowball says, at Lady Sharon, you can rent SPS rewards instead of buying it. This is true. But I would argue at the current prices, it's probably better to buy it. But that's just me. Gathering says 100 SPS to start new account. Yeah. I had to look on that because I know that they had talked about different amounts over the time and it's changed. So Alice is here. Welcome. Thanks for dropping by, Alice. Lady Sharon says, I want to accumulate SPS first and then figure out what to do that. Yeah, just as you get it, all you have to do is come in here, claim every day or every couple of days, and then, excuse me, and then you would, let's see here. I have to claim my pools. I have a little bit. I know the pools are getting ready to get shut off, but once the pools shut off, I'll have to remove my SPS from pools. Don't ask about the pools. It's too in-depth. You're not going to want to know. Anyway, they're shutting them off. And then I'll claim here for my whatever's sitting there ready to claim. And then what you do is once you claim your winnings, if it would go through, then you come over here to the stake button, and you can see I have 154,000 staked currently. It's taken me a while to build that up, but I like to keep like 1,000 SPS like liquid in case I want to burn it for some reason and make some DEC off of it. So then you put exactly what the amount of SPS you want to stake right here, and then just click the stake button. That's all you do. And this has been a steady thing. Us players of Splinterlands have just done it on a daily basis, most of us, for years, you know. So it's just taking a lot of years. And there's a lot of, you know, I haven't bought any SPS lately because that whole easy bridge to buy SPS has been down. Because apparently it wasn't working right or something was wrong with it. But, you know, and there was a lot of times where I was buying SPS on a weekly basis to add it to my total. But I'm pretty happy for where I'm at. And I'm just taking what I win off the game and just putting it back into my staking. And like I said, you can do what's called burning SPS, which it's called burning because it's taken out of circulation. And what it does is it converts it to DEC, which you can in turn use DEC to buy cards or whatever else in the game. So, but it's kind of like something you have to devise in your mind what kind of strategy you want to use, because staking all your SPS is probably the best way to go when you're a new player, because then it just builds up and you can earn over, more off of each hand, right, that you win, right? And then once in a while, you can take it and convert some into DEC and buy something or other for yourself, so worth talking about. Paul says, at Lady Sharon, I delegated you 5K SPS. Enjoy. Nice. Lady Sharon says, I went in there and it had nothing staked, so I couldn't find info. MA1T says, bronze, if you missed earlier, I think he said it was 18 pickles. Wow. Let me go in and check. Matt says, bronze, I sent you enough gold foil pickles to get to max. Oh, sweet. Thanks, Matt. I did not notice that. I thought it was just one. Let's go into cards. Let's go under Conclave promo. Oh, wow. Check that out. Well, let's do it right here. Not for sale. Let's do it right here. Let's see. Yep. It will be a max level Yaba's Pickle. Look at that, folks. That is pretty sweet. And I pick up the healing. This has got to be, and I understand it's a funny card and everything, but this has got to be one of the better support cards that are out there. I love cards with slow on it. Of course, everybody loves cards with heal on it, but adding shield and dodge, sandwich this guy next to some people with some training, weapons training, and then he's got some attacks going on. I know it's funny, but it's now I have a max level pickle. So thanks, Matt. I appreciate it. Lady Sharon says, I'm sorry, I'm trying to be mostly free to play, which is why I'm asking questions on Soulbound. No problem. All's fair game. I want to start selling cards to make money to buy cards, but I'm also in the learning the game phase. Oh, completely understand. We were all there at one point in time, and the game has changed such a lot. They've done such a lot of adding things to the game over the last few years. It's all's fair in I almost said all's fair in love and war, but all's fair in love and Splinterlands, right? So yeah, just to answer your question, yeah, the thing is that they've had to make a lot of hard choices to basically keep the game open or keep the game going. Okay. And one of the hard choices they've had to make was limiting basically the cards that they give away for free or for play, because people were botting massive bot armies and farming the game out of, would have been farmed out of existence if they didn't put the Soulbound card into play, So I'll just leave it at that. I don't know. I don't have any connection to the team or nothing. I just been playing the game and talking about it for a number of years. So, but I can understand, and it's logical, So we're talking about a game where most Web3 games have come and gone in a number of years, that we're talking about a game here that is still going on 7 years later, right? Has it made a lot of changes? Sure. But logic would say that you have to learn from your mistakes, and you have to, who said that? Was it, I forget, some philosopher or some smart guy said, a fool is a person who, the idea is if you keep repeating your mistakes, you're a fool, right? So they've learned from their mistakes, and they're improving the game, and it's staying open as a business. And for us players and people who have bought stuff in the game 7 years later. So I'll just leave it at that. DeHaas says, are there any other external spaces to look for node licenses other than Hive Engine? I don't know. Can you buy them on Monster Market? Let's see here. Doesn't look like it. Peak Monsters? I don't know. I'd have to look into that a little bit more, DeHaas, and get back to you on that. I don't know. I know my brother's got a node license. I do not have one. Lady Sharon says they should combine the Hive Key app thing everybody talks about in mobile. Yeah, well, that's what they were basically doing, and we're waiting for it to come out in iOS, but they've released it on Android. And the guy who actually made the Hive, I don't have my phone connected up to my monitor, but the guy, the way I get it, the guy who made the Hive app also helped design in some way or code the new Splinterlands app so that they combine the two. So instead of having to log into the Hive app, you used to have to log into the Hive app and then go into the browser and then you could play Splinterlands, right? Whereas now it's all combined. So, you know, on that note, I will also mention that you should have the Hive keychain, if you're a new player, install that in your browser, and then it will let you log in. That's a completely different episode, and but look for the Hive keychain browser, and that will add on, and that is a good thing to have as well when you're playing Splinterlands. So. DeHaas says pickle with your new gold foil deck. Yeah, would do some damage. Yep, I agree. It's a great support card. Crypto Beaver says glory to the gold foil pickle. Okay, we are at 12:15. So in the chat, if you want to get your name in for a draw of a gold, let's see here. What's it called? Let's see here. Items. Open. Legendary pack. It's called a Conclave Arcana Legendary pack. I have one pack to give away. Put your name, hashtag SPS to the moon in chat and get your name in the race for this pack. And then as soon as I've accumulated the names, then we'll go ahead and do the drawing. And actually, this is something new other than the random wheel. M. Thompson says, what is the end game for land? I want a Forge of Empires type scenario. Am I way off? That's a whole discussion in and of itself. They've advised that you can. I would actually advise you to go over and do look up the white paper for land. Now, obviously, some of this stuff has not been put into place, but they talk about what their ideas are, and their ideas are to be able to harvest things inland and then make other things that can be used throughout Splinterlands, whether it's cards or in this case potions or other things that you can actually cross-use things, produce things on land, and then obviously if you don't want to use them, you can sell them, you know. So that's the idea of having the card game and land game work together. But I would advise that you go over and watch or read the white paper. Okay, let's get this list going. Let's see here. Arnie, Adi, 78, Indy Ant, 11J, M. Thompson, Lady Sharon, Von Galaban. Oh, man. Okay. I was thinking I couldn't put more than 6 players in this race. I can't. Dang it. Okay. Too bad. I found this horse racing thing that decided random maladies, you know, so apparently you can only have 6 of them. So let's go back to the wheel. I was trying to think of something more interesting than just the spinning wheel. But we'll use it because I need to put a little bit more research into having something fun like they do on other streams. Let's see here. Just type in names and then we'll jump back into chat. Okay. No need to repeat. I'm only going to put your name on the wheel one time. No need to repeat. But it is, if you want to get your name on the giveaway, it's hashtag SPS to the moon. Joffrey's here. Welcome. Hey, Joffrey, did you see the new RavenQuest idle game that's getting ready to come out? Thinking about jumping on that. Sorry, I'm not saying anything. I'm just concentrating on getting everybody's name. Okay, I got the list here. Let me know. We'll wait a minute or two. Let me know if you want to get your name in on a legendary pack giveaway for the newest set in Splinterlands. And once again, this is courtesy of Trash Panda, a great supporter of the game. He's a truck driver, so he never can make this stream live, but he says he always listens to it back. Classical Corner, did you put it in? Okay. Snowballs. Okay, let's look through the list, make sure nobody's double listed. Okay, looks pretty good to me. Okay, well, forever hold your peace. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and do a few shuffles. Now, oh, DeHaas just getting in. Just getting in. Okay. DeHaas just getting in there. Okay. Just making sure nobody's listed twice, just for fairness sake. Okay, let's spin. Cross your fingers. $11J. 11J, let me know your Hive name, your Splinterlands in-game name in the chat so I can send you this over, and congratulations. This is a new name. I always love to see new names pop up. Seems like a lot of new names pop up whenever I announce a big giveaway, but congratulations. Let me know your Hive name / Splinterlands name in the chat, 11J, and I'll send that pack right over. Thanks everybody for dropping by. I hope everybody's week is doing well, and or weekend as it were. I've got to go get a hair and beard trim later on. and do a little bit of weed pulling. Okay, so they said, let's go ahead and go over Splinterlands and do this and transfer in-game player 1, because I only have one. That's the only one I have. I haven't even bought any of this type of... I might have bought one, I think, maybe. Okay, Bands. Okay, just double checking before I send it over. Here you go. Enjoy it. At this point in time, I don't know whether I'd open that or not. I'd probably save it for some of these airdrops to get into population. It just depends upon how your deck's working. If you need it, go ahead and open it. Otherwise, it might be better to save it a little while. As we have the airdrops start to take effect, you will have more of the higher level summoners that will be going into the game, and then you have the percentage chance of drawing one of those. So, but either way, let me know if you draw anything good. Okay, let's see what's going on in chat. We'll kind of draw this down, see what everybody's doing. Paul says, talking about land, that the end goal is for landowners to craft items and spells to be used in the game instead of teams selling those items. The landowners will craft them, so we buy them from them. Lady Sharon says, MA, I looked into tourneys. I couldn't find one that would work for new players. Also, I think you have to pay to join. Yeah, but some of those... I haven't played tournaments in a while, to be honest. Some of them, you can see, some of them are very low cost. And then compared to what you can get out of them, usually you get a lot more out of them than what they cost. You know, like 10 DEC, that's like, I don't know, a couple cents. But either way, you can tell just like regular matches exactly what's going on here under the rule sets. And Buns streams over on Twitch, so that would probably be live streamed for that. Some of them are higher dollar tournaments, but you know, those are for the big dogs. But just like any other kind of gambling event, if you have the means to be in that, then you can win some good cash if you are equipped and know what you're doing, if you have the experience, right? But most of these, like 25 DEC or 10 DEC, that's just like, and then there's some free, the Scholar Showcase might be right up your alley, Lady Sharon. They're free entry, and then the win is like $1 worth of whatever. So look into the free, or look into like the low end stuff. There's lots of free entries here, but obviously you're going to want to look at the lower stuff. So to start off with, but it's something else, you know. Like I said, I haven't played in tournaments in a while, so I don't really talk about them a whole lot. But it's another way to make money off of the game as you level up, and if you have a little bit of time to go into them. So. Yabamat says, the new foundation set cards will be tradable and able to be earned by players. We have new methods to prevent bot farming. Nice. That is excellent. So, Lady Sharon, this is Matt. He is the head of Splinterlands. He is the originator, one of the creators. And he runs Splinterlands. Well, he's kind of stepped back now, and he's back on the... design side. But anyway, he's the head of the game. So we're glad to see him here. And he says the new foundation set cards will be tradable. And at this point, you can only have level 1s. Then I believe you'll be able to level them up too. So that is very nice. And it's nice to hear that there are some advances made to prevent the bot farming. So. Classical Corner says, Paul, I think region versus region battles would be fun, or maybe a roaming boss match. I like the idea that they were talking about as far as taking, I love the campaign mode, and taking the campaign mode further than just being a tutorial, and the whole boss match idea. You know, I was, so... M. Thompson says that sounds very underwhelming compared to an Age of Empires type. Yeah, they were not even looking at an Age of Empires type thing. It's not even that at all. Like I said, I would just say read the white paper on it if you're interested. The whole idea was giving more utility to cards that people have in their collection that are not being used to play with, that have invested in the game and bought cards over time, as well as give something else to do in the game and be able to harvest off your land, create something that can be used in the rest of the game, whether they be potions, whether they be cards. They call out a few different things in the white paper. Snowball says the definition of insanity is repeatedly making the same mistake. Something like that. You get the idea. Basically, if you don't learn from your mistakes, you're doomed to repeat them. I think it's said in a number of different ways and probably changes depending upon your major language. Somebody much smarter than I did thought of that, but it's true. DeHaas says, I jumped to a fool is easily parted from his money. That is also true. No, that's not what I was looking for. Gathering says, game is still in development phase in a way. Land is improving. Campaign mode is in its beginning stages. New player tutorials. Yeah, this is one of those things that's just constantly, you know what I hate is the status of the gaming industry now, where like games will be in beta perpetually, just so they can make some kind of legal statement. Splinterlands has been live. It's consistently just moving forward, sometimes faster than other times, right? But they're consistently moving forward. They've had a plan, but in a lot of cases, there's been like, hey, how do we get there? So I mean, it's a team. It's a small team doing what they can do to keep the game going and bring new things to the players and keep advancing, and you can look at that white paper. Some things have happened in the white paper. Obviously, the caveat there is always, hey, if it's not live in the game, it could change if it's in the white paper, right? But that's the goal, so. Classical Corner says, I have enjoyed the return of the mobile app, but it is way too easy to reload the screen. Lost a few battles because of screen loading. Interesting. I'm looking forward to iOS app going live myself. Wibble says the open tournaments are ghost card tournaments, so you have access to all cards to play with. Nice, yeah, that's a good thing. That's another relatively new thing they've been that has come back to the game, which is the ghost card. If it like he said, if it's open, then you have access to all the cards, so you can play around. And Robert Nicholson says, press that like and subscribe button. Please do, as I always say. And that is a good statement or request to end the show on. Once again, I appreciate you spending some time with me. And I hope that your upcoming week goes great. Next weekend will be the 4th of July weekend. And then the weekend after that, guess what? My birthday weekend. Already have tickets to see the new Superman movie. So with that, I will say this has been Bronze Dragon. I hope everyone on your side is happy and healthy. And hey, I'll see you in Splinterlands.